Easy, Luke. It's just like any other job. Literally Alt-Wright movement. Just my luck. How the hell did I get here? Showtime. You sure I'm capable of doing this?
Of course, Luke. This job is perfect for you. You're the best reporter we've got.
I'm really the only Hispanic reporter you've got.
Don't give me that. Your ethnicity isn't what brought you here. Don't let it scare you away from this job.
But you know who this guy is.
The whole damn country knows. It's time we revealed who he really was.
And what's that, sir?
The worst person in all the United States. Good luck, Luke. With someone as despicable as him, you're gonna need it.
Hello, Mr. Wright. Luke Gonzalez. I'll be interviewing you today.
You're my interviewer?
That's right, sir.
All right. I just got one question for you, Luke.
Okay.
I want you to be honest with me. Are you legal or illegal?
I'm sorry?
Gotcha. Come on, you gotta loosen up. You can't be so tense. We're here to have fun.
Of course, yes. So, wanna have a seat?
Sure.
Okay.
Alrighty then, Luke. Can I call you Luke?
Sure, Mr. Wright. That's fine.
Please, call me Tom. If I can call you by your first name, you can call me mine.
Very well. And as agreed, no cameras, just audio. Alright, this is Luke Gonzalez, West Side Journals. I'm here today with Dominic Wright, leader of the alternative right group, We Are Right. Now, Mr. Wright, today, the American people will love to know your stance on today's political environment. We want to know the real Dominic Wright. Yes.
Beautiful, because America, I'm as real as it gets.
Why don't we start with something a little more basic? A few months ago, at the inauguration of Donald Trump, you were assaulted by a young black gentleman wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
Yeah, I remember that. Surprisingly though, it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
So after that, you haven't attended any interview or spoken about it. Would you be willing to talk about it right now?
Oh, definitely.
Because I definitely saw it coming. I expected to be attacked physically that day, but I didn't expect it to come from a BLM.
Is it because you have been called a white supremacist in the past?
That could be one of the reasons. But do you know the purpose behind Black Lives Matter?
Yes, I do. It's a group meant to protest police brutality against minorities.
That's what they want you to think. But do you know how I see it?
What's that?
I see years and years of victimizing. Over what? Slavery? Segregation? I don't own a slave. And last time I checked, there were plenty of black people at my high school graduation. So what's all the fuss about?
I believe it's a stance on systematic racism. African Americans getting pulled over for no reason. Plenty of young men getting incarcerated for, minor drug offenses. They just want justice in their lives. What if it was your friend who was, attacked just because of the way they looked?
Well, I can assure you that none of my friends have had any run-ins with the law. Take you, for example. You're a young Hispanic man. Have you ever had any run-ins with the police?
No, I haven't.
Is that because you're afraid that if you do anything wrong, the big scary white policeman is going to shoot you dead?
Not at all. I was taught right from wrong.
Exactly. You were taught never to intervene with any sort of trouble, and to respect the police officer, and not do anything to piss him off, right?
Of course.
But when a young black teenager is flipping off a cop, calling him the N-word, and cursing his mother's beautiful name, the cop is expected to just pat him on the back and let it go? Not a chance. He's gonna lose his cool. He's human. And the next thing you know, he's gonna be on every single news outlet in the country. And he's gonna be labeled the devil by every single liberal on social media.
So the man who punched me wasn't really a good example of what BLM is claiming they're all about, now was he?
So what would be considered a good example? I mean, look at Colin Kaepernick. He gets a lot of hate just from kneeling.
I'm not sure he's the perfect example of black oppression, as you put it. You have a millionaire football player who claims he's the voice for black people getting shot by police. And then the left turns his SJW acts into this scary police officer under your black kid's bed agenda.
His status is what gives him his voice. He shows that he still cares about his own people, even though they come from different worlds.
Then why do it now? He's been in the NFL since 2011. Many people have been shot since then. Trayvon Martin got killed a year later. Why pick now?
It has gotten worse over the years. Look at Alton Sterling and Walter Scott. Both unarmed black men who were shot by the police, and it may have been racially motivated.
True, but a few bad seeds don't make the whole bag terrible. Because of the sins of a few, the left have made it look like all cops are evil racist pigs who use people of color as target practice. This level of branding is so extreme that if you even defend a cop in this situation, you're automatically an Uncle Tom. It's ridiculous.
I see what you mean. Speaking of branding, you've been labeled many things in the past. People have called you a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, even the next Hitler.
You just gotta love the liberal media. They do know how to create more drama than a daytime soap opera. Tell me, Luke, when you first found out you were going to be interviewing me, what was your first impression?
To be honest, I first thought you weren't going to speak to me, given my background and all.
Well, what do you say we get this out of the way then?
Libtard, leftist, Pocahontas, Hollywood elitist, MAGA, build that wall, lock her up.
Is that what you expected?
Actually, I didn't think that was going to happen at all.
Aw, come on, don't bullshit me, Luke. You know that you were thinking that the entire time, once you heard my name.
I am very professional in my work.
Professional. Tell me, what would you have done if I called you a Mexican during this entire interview?
I'd say it was uncalled for, because I'm not.
Right. If I had done that, would you have actually corrected me so calmly? Or would you have bursted out into that door calling me a racist?
I would have corrected you and said, no, I am Colombian.
Exactly! But nowadays, I even breathe one thing about a different race, and suddenly, I'm public enemy numero uno! And I've been down that road before, Luke. I've said, America is founded by white people. And the media says, Dominic Wright hates people of color. I could say that I don't want gender-neutral bathrooms, and all of a sudden, I am homophobic. Everybody's got their damn panties in a wad that if I even breathe in the direction of a black person, I've suddenly committed a hate crime. It'll never end.
Ask him about gays. His response should be awful.
So, tell me, Dom, what do you think of homosexuals?
Kind of straightforward now, aren't we?
It's an interview. Everybody's pretty much to the point. Now, why don't you tell us your take on homosexuality?
Before I answer, I'm curious, Luke.
About what?
Do you support homosexuality? It's a very simple yes or no question. Are you okay with, are you comfortable with two people of the same sex going at it like a couple of chimps?
It doesn't affect me personally, although I don't see anything wrong with two people falling in love.
Well, do your parents support it?
No, they're very traditional.
Tell you what. What do you say we go and pay them a visit? Your mom cooks us a nice home-cooked meal. I'm sitting next to you, of course. But then in the middle of the meal, I clear off the table, pull you up, toss you on top of it, rip your pants off, and go to town with you. Then they'll have no choice but to accept it. Sorry about that. The best part is, if they say anything negative about it, we could just call up a couple of old homophobes and try to ruin their lives best we can, just because they didn't want their son taking it up the ass. Does that sound good?
Very inappropriate.
Correctamundo! But sadly, that's how things are nowadays. Homosexuality is everywhere, and the liberals are loving it. They'll do anything they can to shove it in your face. I mean, they already have the right to marry, so what more could they possibly want? Now all of a sudden, every single TV show and movie needs to have a gay character in it. Otherwise, it's not inclusive. Anyway, what's the next question? This may have to be the final one. I have got to start heading to my next speech.
All right. Last question. Do you believe in white power that immigrants have to do with this country?
I was wondering if you were going to ask me something like that.
So you do believe in it?
I believe this country was founded by our forefathers, who liberated us from British rule. They just so happened to be white.
So people of color had nothing to do with the birth of the United States?
There you go. There you go. All I have to do is say white, and immediately you're jumping to conclusions, and I'm labeled discriminatory.
I didn't mention anything about discrimination.
You meant it though, didn't you? You said you like to keep things professional.
I do. I'm just saying what the American people are wondering.
Well, the people already know what they want to know. They've seen me speak, march in rallies. Hell, I've already got the word Nazi imprinted on my forehead. You have no idea. You have no idea. Absolutely no fucking idea what it's like living in a world where people want you dead just because you don't follow the same standards as them.
I do know what it's like. So, a year ago, I wrote a piece about this ultra-conservative preacher. Really, big-mouthed guy, just saying what he wanted to. He mentioned in one of his sermons that abortion clinics should be punished. Next thing you know, a member of his congregation walked into a Planned Parenthood, just goes right in the front door with a gun. Now, preacher denied any involvement of this, but because of my article, he was put under house arrest and investigated. This led to many death threats from his congregation and social media followers. Pretty soon, I'd wake up every morning to a voicemail saying, "God hates you, liberal bastard. Kill yourself." You know what else they did? They sent emails. Emails saying that my wife should be raped. So-called Christians said this about my wife. I mean, I even got a letter sent to my office saying Satan was gonna blow me. It's just, Satan was gonna blow me because apparently I'm the devil for not abiding to their leader. I'm sorry, just...
Oh. And I thought I had it rough. What did you do?
I had no choice but to move out of there. No way am I going back to the state of Arizona. Just, no.
I'm sorry, Luke. Satan is gonna blow you? I mean, they actually hand wrote that and sent it to your office?
Yes, it was all fancy and in cursive. They took the time with that thing.
I mean, I've had people send me pictures of me being burnt at the stake, but a letter about Satan giving you oral sex? Where the hell do people come up with this stuff?
People are getting creative nowadays. It's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Now, I know I said that was the last question, but there's one I really must ask.
Go right ahead. After that, I don't mind being a little late.
What do you think would make this country great again?
I was wondering when you were going to ask that. If you want to make this country great again, it's time to get our heads out of our asses and realize the shocking truth. We will never be the United States.
And what do you mean by that?
Allow me to reiterate. When we first walked into this room, it wasn't interviewer and interviewee. No. It was Hispanic liberal and white conservative. It was left wing and right wing. It was color and white. If this was filmed, no one would ever believe you and I were the same. I mean, look what happened to you at your old home, and look what happened to me 3 months ago. We'll always be divided.
Is that what you think? Because there could be time when we could all come together as one.
Trust me, Luke. We're all in the same boat, just rowing on different sides. And sooner or later, one side will start heading down and refuse to go with the other. It's just the way things are.
And doesn't that mean the boat is moving forward?
Precisely! And if we come together, we'll start rowing on the same side, and we're all just wasting time going in one big circle. You stick with your audience, and I'll stick with mine.
Very thoughtful. I do believe we're all set here.
Alrighty then. I really should be going. Thank you, Luke. I did enjoy this interview.
I did as well, Dom. Thank you.
Well, wish me luck. I hear the protesters outside. They're still chanting. Hey, by the way, are you sticking around for the speech?
Oh no, I'm afraid I can't. I have to report back to my boss immediately.
Well, so long, Luke. And by the way, was this all just to make me look bad?
We're gonna ruin this guy. And everyone like him. That's what makes America great again.
Not at all. I keep it professional.
Alright. Well, so long.